Hello and welcome, my name's Marcia Roberts, and today I've ditched the Lycra and I'm doing my bit for cycling in the community. A few years ago, Portsmouth City Council decided that they wanted to encourage more cycling, and they created a map of different routes through the city which they deemed to be quiet routes. Now notice the wording, it's quiet rather than safe, and as a result I'm keeping my helmet on because there are some roads involved. But what I'm doing today is I've picked 5 of the routes, and I'm going to ride them from end to end. I'm going to video them and I'm going to feed back on the results. You shouldn't, in theory, need a map to follow these routes. There are signs or stickers on all sorts of things, lampposts, trees, where you should be able to follow those routes. I say should. As we go along, we're going to find out just how easy they are to follow if you haven't actually got the map. Now, for my purposes, so that I know where the route is supposed to go, I've put all the route on my GPS device so I can follow that, but you might not be able to. And to put myself completely in the guise of a normal person just trying to get about town, I am completely like for free. I'll turn that round, I'm riding a normal bike with panniers. The only difference is it's got cameras all over it, so that I can film the route. But when we want safe cycle routes and quiet routes, what are we really after? So we're after routes where your average person that lives or works in the city can get around and feel safe, not feel threatened by traffic. They're maybe not riding a standard bike. It could be that they're on a recumbent or a cargo bike or a tandem or a trike, or they've got children in a trailer. You know, those sorts of people need safe routes to cycle on. I myself, I own a car, but I live and work in Portsmouth, so my car rarely gets used unless I'm actually leaving the city. And I would say that 90% of my local journeys are done on my bicycle, in fact the one that I've just shown you here. So, you know, getting around Portsmouth as a flat city should be easy and straightforward. The reality is often very different. People don't tend to feel safe. And these routes are designed to try and help people to get around more safely. So enjoy the video. I'm going to do a separate section for each route I try today, and I'll talk you through them, and I'll talk you through whether they're good or bad. Not so much bad, but whether there could be some improvements. And Portsmouth City Council have actually asked us, the Portsmouth Cycle Forum, to help them to actually improve these cycle routes through town. So here is my first attempt of my first 5 cycle routes today that cover from the north of the island to the south of the island, and a couple of routes across as well from east to west. So enjoy the video. Hi, my first route is going to be the black route that runs from Cosham station all the way down to Fratton station, and it stops by Hilsey station on the way back. I can't quite work out why they did a cycle route between all the stations, but I guess if you live anywhere along these routes, then it will at least help you find a quiet route to one of these stations. My first observation, it's not apparent at all where I need to go to actually get on this route. If I didn't know that I had to head south, I wouldn't even know where to start, so that's not a great start. Anyway, let's have a look and see what we find along the way. This is one of the longest route I'm doing today, and it's about 5 miles long. So on my first turning, this isn't a good sign. There's no sign to say that I need to turn left onto Hawthorne Crescent, although now I've just passed the junction, I can see there is a sign on Hawthorne Crescent if you were coming the other way to say turn right. I have a funny feeling this is going to be a problem with this route, because the route is marked on the map as Fratton to Cosham, and I've decided to do Cosham to Fratton. Really wouldn't take much to put a sign on the other side of the road. Anyway, let's take a look. my fears have been allayed because the first sign at the next junction is there, and I can see it on the pole on the other side of the road as well. So hopefully it will be signposted all the way to Fratton. So good. It's been quiet. I'm just around the back of Hillsey Bastion, which I think during the day feels fine, feels safe. I think a lot of people would think twice though about trying to do this once it got dark, which basically means from about 4 o'clock right the way through the winter it could be a bit scary for some. Road isn't the best place. It is quiet, but you do get big lorries there, so you do have to be a bit careful. When you come off though, the next sign says continue on foot. I think that's because we're on Norway Road and I'm in peak commuting time at the moment. It's about 4:15, so it's right between the schools coming out and peak, people coming home from work time, and as you can hear it's really busy. I am disappearing down a little footpath thing at the moment. I don't know whether it's a cycle path, but yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that it says continue on foot. I do think that something could be made to turn this little section into to have a cycle lane in it somewhere. The path's quite wide, so I can't see any reason why not. Yes, that's correct. It goes straight through the station platform. Helpful. Look. This is a very normal bike. made it to Fratton station. Actually, as a quiet route, that was fine. Would I take kids along it? Some of it, certainly. Would I ever use it as a commuter even, if I was to cycle between Cosham and Fratton station, which, to be honest, I have done a few times? Absolutely not. It is such a convoluted route, and the way it crosses the more main side roads through North End and through Cosham, it means you have to stop at every single crossroads, every one, without exception, and that is way too much of a faff. It could be a really nice north-south route if it was upgraded and cyclists were given priority to cross some of those roads, but until it is, then it's only ever going to be a leisure bimbling kind of route, because that's all you can do along there. But did it feel safe? Yeah, for the most part it did. One of the big fails though is the bollard that was put in the park not a bollard, a barrier that was put in the park just after Hilsey station. I couldn't get my bike through, and that's got normal handlebars. Following me, there were two young girls on much smaller bikes, and even they bashed their handlebars through it. That one really needs sorting out because it's shocking.